Happy Tuesday, you guys. So today I'm going to be making some beef hot dogs. These are the Costco ones. I have been craving these. Finally got some. And then I'm going to wrap them with some bacon. So this is the frozen bacon. So I had to put it in the microwave for about 15 seconds so it won't be so stiff. Just so that it can be loose, you know, so I could have wrapped it around the hot dog. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my little toaster oven and probably cook it for about 15 minutes. I'm sauteing up some red bell peppers, green bell peppers, and some onion. So I'm just gonna let it get translucent, just the onion, and then it will be done. This meal reminds me of like being young because we used to go to downtown LA and we used to go shopping at the alleys. We called it the alleys, and we used to get these all the time. There was always the, you know, the street vendors that had these, so these definitely remind me of, you know, my childhood. Dinner tonight is bacon wrapped hot dogs with some sauteed peppers and onions. So these are the street dogs, that's what we call them. And then I just put some green grape. So this is our dinner for Tuesday night. Today is Wednesday and I'm going to be making some chicken broccoli instead of beef broccoli. So right here I just have some chicken thighs. This is boneless and skinless chicken thighs. I took off as much fat as I can and I just put some salt, some pepper, and I'm going to put some ginger in it right now. It doesn't ask for ginger, but I do like to put ginger in it a little bit. Okay, so I got my helper, Evelyn. She's mixing it up. It's already almost done, like the outside. Not the inside yet. I don't want the inside to be done yet because then it's going to get dry. So I sliced up some carrots and some onions. You can go ahead and mix that, hon. So I'm going to mix that together in there. And the broccoli already. So I'm going to put the broccoli. You're just going to mix that up for me. And let me show you guys the sauce I made. The sauce I made has 1/4 cup of chicken broth, 1/4 cup of sour cream, soy sauce, and then it has 3 tablespoons of honey. So I just mixed that together. I'm gonna go ahead and add some garlic because I forgot. I want to add it in there before I totally forget about it. I'm also going to add a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, you know, so it gets like on the veggies, and some ginger. This recipe, I'll go ahead and put it down below. It doesn't call for ginger, but usually when I make like a stir fry, obviously this is not authentic, you know, Asian food, but we like it. That's that mixture I just showed you guys. Go ahead. To thicken it up, I have a tablespoon of water with 2 teaspoons of cornstarch in there. Go ahead and put that in there. And just mix it all together. You can see there's a lot of juices in there, so hopefully that thickens it up so it has like a good nice caramel color. I'm hoping that that's what's gonna come out. Okay, so I'm going real gourmet today. So I got some rice cauliflower. Last time I made it on the stove, it was a total fail. So I got the one that you can microwave this time. So it's to put in a bowl and warm it up for about 4 to 5 minutes, and then I guess I'll put some seasoning in there after. We'll see. I'm just gonna go with garlic powder and some salt and call it a day. Okay, so dinner is served. So I have the cauliflower rice, and then I have the chicken and broccoli stir fry, and it came out really good. Didn't come out like that caramelized brown, but it's still very tasty. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the recipe down in the description, and this is it. This is our dinner for Wednesday night. For Friday's dinner, I'm gonna be making some Mississippi chicken. This will be my second time making it. The first time it was so yummy, it was just so good, so I thought, why not make another one? I have a lot of things to do at home, and that's perfect for a crock pot meal. So I'm going to use chicken thighs. So it calls for 3 pounds of chicken thighs, a 1/2 cup of butter, so it's about a stick of butter, and then it's a cup of the pepperoncinis, 1/4 cup of ranch, and then 1/4 cup of brown gravy. Hoping this is all going to fit into the crock pot because my other crock pot broke, so I'm just using a smaller one. So hopefully it fits. So let's try this out. Hopefully it does. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the pepperoncinis. Just put in the brown gravy and the ranch together. So I cut the butter into like slices and then I put it in there, and I just couldn't come to terms with putting all of the butter. I don't know. I feel very, you know, weary about putting too much butter in my food. So I'm just gonna put this, hopefully, I mean, this is most of it, so hopefully it still tastes good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover it. And I'm going to put it on high. Evelyn's gonna mix it, so I'm gonna add a little bit more milk. What'd you put in it, Evelyn?
I put butter and milk and salt, pepper, and garlic powder.
Okay, perfect. Now this is a good meal right here. I think this is so good. I love Mississippi chicken now. This is definitely going to be a regular every month because I really like it. The chilies, I love the little bit of spice that it gives. Just having it with some mashed potatoes that Evelyn made and put some of the sauce on top of it. And we're having a Hawaiian sweet roll. And that is it. That will be our dinner for Friday night. Today is Sunday. So I wanted to start doing some Sunday dinners again, because usually around like fall and winter I love to have like bigger meals, comforting meals, and some dessert. I used to do that, like I said, like fall and winter, and today is the first day of fall and it definitely feels like that. It's gloomy and it has like this nice cool breeze. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna start it today since it's the first day of fall. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I'll be making today. 1 pound of pinto beans that I already sorted out and washed them. And then I have a half a cup of onions that I cut very small because I like it to like disintegrate, you know, inside of the beans so that nobody gets a chunk of that in there. And then I have 2 cloves of garlic that I went ahead and cut in half. I do not put salt until the very end. I learned that from one of my neighbors, and I actually worked and made my beans a little more softer. I put the salt in, it makes them a little harder, so I wait to the end. Go ahead and put in the description below and the cards above of how I make my pinto beans. And yes, you guys are going to hear the TV today, Sunday. So the kids are home, so the TV is going to be on probably all day. This was a big chunk of roast beef that I cut like into like big thick slices or pieces. I did cut out a lot of the fat. You know, roast beef has a lot of fat, so let's add a lot of like grease. Didn't want too much grease in it today, so well, I should do that more often actually. But you guys can see I left some of it on there because it does give it some good flavor though. And then I'm going to add some of this nor caldoteres, and this is just like beef bouillon. And I just break it apart in there. This is about 3 pounds of roast beef in there. I also cut up 1 whole green bell pepper and then a red bell pepper, and then I cut up a half of onion. This was a large onion. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add it in here. I'm gonna add it on top because, you know, sometimes they get a little soggy when I put them on the bottom, so I'm just gonna add them on top today. And then I'm gonna add a can of ibotta sauce, and this can is hot tomato sauce, but it's really not even that hot unless you're really sensitive to spices. We're not that sensitive here, so to us it's not really that spicy. So this is a 7 3/4 ounce of can, and you could find this like in the Latin area. And they're usually like 2 for $1, so that's pretty good. I'm just gonna put that on high. If you guys don't want to use the beef bouillon or the ibotta sauce, you can also add some of this taco seasoning. Now dessert, I have a 4 little like mini loaf pan right here that I greased with some of this olive oil spray. So I have my bowl here. So I'm gonna put a 1.5 cups of flour inside here. Whoa. Well, I ain't perfect putting everything in there. I'm gonna put a cup of sugar, granulated sugar, put a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of sea salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I mix the dry ingredients first. I didn't have any buttermilk, so right here I have 1/4 cup of milk, and then I went ahead and added 3/4 of the distilled white vinegar. So I mixed it, leave it in there for 5 minutes, let it work its magic, and then it's been 5 minutes now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it into a smaller bowl, And then I'm gonna put the oil in here also. And this is 1/4 cup of olive oil. Went ahead and put 1 teaspoon of this vanilla, and then I put 2 room temperature large eggs. So I'm gonna mix this up first. And added 2 ripe bananas already in there, so I'm gonna mix that up. I'm gonna put 1/4 cup of butter. It's melted butter. So I'm gonna go ahead. It's already been like sitting a while, so it's not too hot. So it won't cook the egg, because when you put it in there too hot and with a cold egg, that's why it's room temperature. It's gonna cook the egg, and then you're gonna get little bits of scrambled egg in there. I added the wet mixture inside of the dry mixture. I always do it differently, but when it comes to this bread, I can get away with putting it this way, because some people, they put, you know, like little by little the dry ingredients in there. But I have made banana bread many times and it came out completely fine doing it this way. I crushed up a cup of walnuts. You can put whatever you guys like. I just want a little bit more walnuts. I love the walnuts in there. It would have been good if I had some like chocolate chips, but I don't have it today. So I'm really just gonna fold it in lightly, and that is it really. Making some Spanish rice. I never measure anything like when it comes to Spanish rice, but today I'm gonna do it just to see like exactly how much everything needs. So I put a cup of rice in here, and there's some olive oil. So I'm just gonna toast it until it's like light brown, like golden brown. I put 1/4 of an onion in here, and this is my favorite part because it smells so good. I love it when the onions are cooking. So this is how I like it. It looks more white on camera, but it's golden brown. And then I have 2 cups of water. And a can of sweet golden corn. I love this stuff. Then I blended up some tomatoes. I had some diced tomatoes in the refrigerator and I needed to use it up. So instead of using tomato sauce, I made my own tomato sauce today. So I'm gonna mix that together. So I have some chicken bouillon. This is 1 teaspoon. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need more than 1 teaspoon. So I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons first. 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, and I'm gonna say like it would be a half a can of tomato sauce and 4 teaspoons of chicken bouillon, and then a whole can of the sweet corn. So now I'm just gonna wait till it boils. Once it boils, I'm gonna cover it and simmer it for about 15 minutes. It's been in there almost about 5 hours, a little over 4.5 hours. So I'm just gonna add some sea salt. You're gonna do this just till taste, you know, you think it tastes good to you. And then what I do is I keep it uncovered and I put it on high, and I'm gonna let it boil for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna let the salt like get inside the beans, and this is the way I do it now, and it comes out great. Everybody does it different. This is just how I do it. Here's the banana nut bread. Came out good. Came out moist. So that's a good recipe. Then I made some flour tortillas. There's some onion and cilantro because I'm gonna top that here. So this beef is so good and tender. Here's the beans and the rice. And that's gonna be our Sunday dinner. And this dinner, I added everything up. It was like 12 bucks for all this. So I think that's pretty good. And my husband's have lunch, and I'll have some lunch tomorrow. So that will be our Sunday dinner. Sunday night, I'm gonna be making this Angus ground chuck and beef patties today. And I'm gonna put some Swiss cheese on top. And I'm gonna make some crinkle cut fries because Brian requested these today. So I went ahead and picked some up. Here's our dinner. I made some hamburgers, cheeseburgers. I was gonna put some onion and avocado and some bacon in there. I had a long day. We came home a little late, so I just wanted to cook something up real quick. Then here's our little frozen fries, and that will be our dinner for Monday night. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.